Hi guys. There's a question up on the board for you to try so long. It is tricky, but doable. I'm just gonna put some little helping formulas on the board for you. But remember, if you like get completely stuck and you don't know what to do, just let me know and I'm here. Do one more hint. And something that's going to definitely come into play in this question is some Pythagoras. Welcome back, Sia. We missed you. Luckily, you only missed one lesson, though, last week because Monday was voting day. If you are wanting to check your process as you go, so like if you're wanting to check what, for example, like BD is or something, whatever you sort of finding along the way, please feel free to either like chat to me or to put it in the chat box, and then I can let you know if you have done it right or wrong, just so that you don't use the wrong numbers as you go through this question. But it is tough and it does require a lot of thinking, so just take your time and do it step by step. No questions coming in so long. That worries me. It worries me that you're looking at this and not knowing where to start. Okay. I've written 3 steps to try and help you break it down a little bit if you're struggling. So our first step is we're trying to find the base, which is BC. Then our second step would be to find the length of DC. And then our third step would be to find what we're actually looking for, which is AC. Oh, going straight in there for an answer. I like the confidence. Let me tell you if you're right. Oh, we might need another step in here. I do not get 21, but I'm not terribly far off it. And it is a nice whole number. It's not a decimal number. Oh. Let's try break what you did step by step. So what have people found for BC? Oh, don't worry, I will explain as we go. This is just to work on while we wait for everyone to get here, so don't panic. I will explain. Let's sort of start breaking it down. What did we get for BC? Those of you who have answers, who have sort of tried this, let me know what you got for BC, and I'll tell you whether you're on the right track or not. So BC is the base of our triangle. Siama, was your 21 your final answer? So was that the answer for AC, or was that one of your other sort of steps? Oh, okay. Because it's not wrong for one of your steps. Okay. I'm going to unvideo myself so I can write properly. Let's try break this down step by step. All right. So step 1, we need to find the base of this triangle. So I'm just going to sort of get rid of this so we've got some space. We know that the area of a triangle formula is area which is equal to base times height over 2. Okay, so let's just write out what information we have. We know that our area is 84. We don't know what our base is. That's BC. And we know that our height is 8. Okay, so we're going to chuck that into our formula. 84 is equal to base, which we don't know, times height, which is 8, divided by 2. Now we have just a normal equation where we're trying to find what B is. So we're going to say 84 times 2 is equal to base times 8. And 84 times 2 gives us 168. And so we're going to divide that by 8. And we get 21. So that tells us, oh, sorry, didn't mean to zoom in there. That tells us that this whole area of BC is 21 centimeters. Okay, so all we've done there is we worked our way backwards to get our base of the triangle. And that's why I was saying your 21 wasn't completely wrong, just a little bit. Okay. All right, so there's your 21 centimeters. Now, the next thing we want to do is we want to find BD, because we're going to need to find DC at some point. So in order to find BD, what I've got over here is a right angle triangle. And when I have a right angle triangle, I can use Pythagoras. So I can say BD squared plus 8 squared equals 10 squared Pythagoras. See how we're starting to use all of the different skills we've learned over the last few weeks. This is what maths is all about. So we build up slowly and we put them all together. So BD squared is equal to 100 minus 64, which means BD squared is equal to 36. And so BD is equal to 6. Okay, Now I'm going to ask you, and you can give me your answers in the chat, or you could say them out loud. If BC is 21 and BD is 6, then what is DC? Who can tell me what the length of DC is? I'm wanting to know what this length over here is. Nice, good, 15, great. Okay, so now we know that that's 15. And if we know that this is 15 and this is 8, and we're dealing with another right-angled triangle, that means we can use Pythagoras again. So now we can say 15 squared plus 8 squared is equal to AC squared because of Pythagoras. So AC squared is equal to 15 squared plus 8 squared, which gives us 289. And the square root of 289 is 17 centimeters. And so AC is going to be 17 centimeters. All of that work for one little answer. So let's just recap what we did. First thing we did was we put the information that we were given into the area of a triangle formula. We found the length of our base. Okay, once we did that, we found BD by using Pythagoras because it was a right angle triangle. And then we used that value over there, that's 6. We used that to find DC, which was 15. And with the 15 and the 8, we were able to find AC through Pythagoras again. And that is where this big question ends. So well done to those of you who got close. How did we do with this question? Be honest. So 0 means you weren't able to do any of the question. Let's say like a 3 is you were able to do some, so maybe you were able to do some of the Pythagoras forms here. 5 means you sort of were okay, but you didn't finish. 8 means you were close to finishing, but you didn't get the right answer. And then 10, 100% right. Great. Keep those answers coming in, guys. No, I'm glad that you were honest. I am. But you also weren't here when we did triangles. So it does make sense. Okay. And on that lovely note of triangles, we are now going to move into circles. Although some of the questions that we do towards the end of today's lesson will have some triangles involved, we are going to move into the world of circles now. Okay. Who knows the formula for the area of a circle? Remember, area is inside, so I want to know how to find that area of a circle.
Is it radius, pi, and something else?
Yes, definitely pi is involved, radius involved, a p where minus 1. Okay, so if we're wanting to find the area of a circle, that's the center of my circle, that's my radius. So like Kamba was saying now, the area of a circle is equal to pi times radius squared. Okay, so times your radius squared times pi. Cool. So I thought I could quickly show you where this formula comes from because it's quite cool. I'm hoping you can all see this video that I'm, oh goodness, let me just get that sound off there. Okay, so basically what's happening here is if we had a circle, just so, because I want you to actually understand where that formula came from, and we broke it up into little sectors like that, and then we moved the sectors to try and create a shape. We're getting close to a rectangle, but it's more like a parallelogram than a rectangle. So if we cut it into more shapes, so small shapes, joining them together, do you see how we're getting closer to the idea of a rectangle, but not quite there yet? And then even more, this is where it starts getting quite cool. So we've got tiny, tiny, tiny pieces now, and we're breaking them apart. And we are creating pretty much a rectangle. And the more we cut up, the closer we're going to get to a rectangle. Now, if you think about that, that side so when we have a rectangle, we know that a rectangle is length times breadth, right? That's how we find the area of a rectangle. And that long side of this rectangle that we've created is half of our circumference, right? Because it's half of the circle. And then the breadth that you're seeing on the other side, on the short side, that's our radius, because that's the length of that circle. So if we go back over here, what we've created is we've created a big rectangle that's been made up of all these little, that's terrible, but you know what I'm talking about because you've just seen the nice video where it's nice and neat, all these little pieces of the circle. And this whole length here is our circumference. That's half of our circumference. Who remembers the formula for circumference? Circumference equals what? Come on. Oh, Veronica, were you going to say it? There we go. 2 pi radius. Beautiful. 2 pi r. That's our circumference. Okay. So if we are saying that this is half of a circumference, we're saying it's 2 pi r divided by 2. And so saying that, these 2's are going to cancel and we're just left with pi r. And we know that this breadth of the rectangle was one of our like pieces of the pie, which means that that is the radius. And so if I was working out this area of this rectangle, I would say, well, that's pi r times radius, which is pi r squared. And that's where our area formula for a circle came from. Came from this idea of cutting up a circle into tiny, tiny little pieces until eventually we could have a rectangle and we could work with our area from the idea of a rectangle. And so that is now how we find the area of a circle. So circumference of a circle, that's your perimeter, is 2 pi r, or we can sometimes say circumference is equal to pi d, or pi times diameter, and the area of a circle is pi times radius squared. So please make sure you all have your calculators with you because we are going to be using a lot of pi today. Okay, let's start with 2 nice, easy questions. I'm going to help you with the first one, and then I want you to do the second one alone. So my first one here, my radius is equal to 5. So area is equal to pi times 5 squared. I'm going to chuck that straight into my calculator exactly like that. And I'm going to get an answer of 78,54 centimeters, and its area, so we're going to say squared. Oh, sorry, Uzi, do you have a question? You maybe need to see this one. $78,55. Are you using pi or are you using a shortened version of pi? Are you using 3,1 or are you using pi on your calculator? Yeah. Hello. Oh, okay. That's why. That's fine. It's because if you're using the full pi, you've just got more decimal places. So it's going to change your answer a little bit. But it's absolutely fine if you're writing 3,142. As long as you're writing that in your test, then I'm happy. Okay. I would like everyone to give B a try for me. Be careful of what your radius is. I have a very similar answer, Jude, but my numbers are not quite in the same order as yours. Oh, look at that rounding off. Makes my heart feel warm and fuzzy. Okay, so if our diameter is 24 millimeters, then our radius is going to be 12 millimeters because our radius has to be half of our diameter. Okay, and so we're going to say area is equal to pi times 12 squared, and that's going to give us a total of 452,389, and that 9 is going to make the 8 go up, so 452,39 millimeters squared, because we're dealing with area. Beautiful. Nice job, guys. Well done. Let's try something a bit trickier. Not hugely trickier just yet, don't worry. Does anyone need to sit on these two questions any longer? Just let me know. Okay. Okay. You got 542,16. What are you using for pi? Are you using the full pi or are you using a shortened version of it?
I used the same method that you used, but I got 452,1616.
And are you using the pi that's on a calculator or are you using a cell phone calculator?
I'm using the calculator.
The maths one.
Yes, the pi and the calculator.
Okay, can you try put it in one more time for me?
Okay, ma'am.
Just let me know. Let me know what happens.
It's still the same, ma'am.
That's a bit odd. At the top of your calculator, what letters are there? Like right at the top on the screen. So like it should say like an M or a D, or like what little letters are at the top of your calculator?
There is an M and a D and math and the triangle.
Okay, so those are all the right ones. So that's good. Okay, I will play around on the side and see if we can figure out what's going on. Okay. I'll play on my calculator here. Okay, while that's happening, we've got some questions happening over here. So now it's just written in a slightly different way. This is now telling me that the area of my circle is 300 centimeters squared, and we're trying to find the diameter of the circle. So I want you to remember that area is equal to pi radius squared. And so if you have the area, you're able to find the radius. And if we have the radius, we're able to find the diameter. Okay. And I want you to do the exact same idea here. I want you to try, gosh, sorry, my R's are really just looking horrific today. I want you to try both A and I want you to try B, and I want you to see what happens there. I think some of you said you started your exams this week. Have you had maths yet? How have they been going? Let me know. Writing maths in the last week of exams. That's nice. Yeah. That's nice. Don't be sad, Nawazi. It gives you more time to study. Paper 1 on Friday. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, gee, that's starting late, hey? Also, lots of time to study, though. That's good. Clinton, paper on the 10th. Oh, 2 days away. Okay. Jude, are you writing one paper or are you writing 2 papers for maths? Okay. Okay, so some answers are coming in. On the 1st of December. Oh, so long still. Okay. Let's try go through this question here. So the area of a circle is 320 centimeters squared. Determine the diameter of the circle. So I'm going to try and help you with this first one because then I think it will help you work out the second one. So don't panic if you haven't gotten to the second one yet. Whenever we have a question like this, it's the same as our very first question we started with today, which had like word problems. We fill in the information that we know. We know our area is 320. We know what pi is because it's on our calculator, and we are trying to find what our radius is. Okay. So if I'm wanting to isolate my radius, I'm going to say, well, that's going to be 320 divided by pi. That's going to be my radius squared. And so if I want to know what my radius is just by itself, I'm going to square root that fraction. So I'm going to square root 320 over pi. And I'm going to get a total of a radius, which is 10,09. And that means that my diameter is 20,2 or 19. You could have, if you said 20,2, that's also fine. So I see a couple of people got there. Up here where you got there, which is great. I think I saw another one a little bit earlier, which was on the right sort of track. But that's what our value would be. So our diameter would be 20,2 or 20,19 centimeters. Okay, so try and follow this train of thought. Let it help you guide you to try and work on B for me.
Sorry, ma'am. Could you please explain number 1 again?
Sure. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do, this skill is an important skill. So it's the same thing that comes in whenever they're giving us a question with information backwards. Okay. So area is equal to pi times radius squared. We know that our area is 320. We know what pi is because we can use our calculator, and we're saying that's times radius squared. So I'm trying to, because it's an equation, I'm trying to isolate radius squared because I want to know what my radius is. So I'm going to say, well, that's going to be 320 divided by pi is my radius squared. So all I've done is I've moved that pi onto the other side. Now I want my radius to be alone. I don't want it to be squared. So I need to square root that whole fraction. And I'm then going to chuck that into my calculator just like that. So I'm going to say the square root fraction key 320 over pi, and that's going to give me 10,09. And that's my radius. But remember, if this is your circle, if that's my radius, then my diameter is 2 of them. So now we need to say our diameter is equal to 2 times our radius, which means our diameter is going to be 20,2 or 20,18, depending on what you worked out and what you rounded off your numbers to along the way. Okay, and we're working in centimeters here. Okay, Princey, so did they decide not to include measurement this year? Are they going to try and catch it up next year? Okay. Yeah. I know some schools are doing a few different things this year because of COVID and time that you've had taken away from class. Okay. So let's have a look at B. Okay, we're going to use our formula again. Area equals pi r squared. Area equals pi times radius squared. Our area is 3. So our area is 3. Okay, which means if I'm wanting to find r squared, I'm going to say that's 3 divided by pi, which means r is going to be the square root of 3 divided by pi. So I'm going to chuck that into my calculator, the square root of 3 divided by pi, and I get the total of 0.98. That's what my radius is. Okay, but they don't want our radius. They want the circumference. And the circumference of a circle is 2 pi r, or 2 times radius times pi. So 2 times pi times 0.98, 2 times pi times 0.98, and that gives us 6.16 meters. Just meters. Well done. Look at that beautiful answer sitting there in the chat. Excellent. I know that these seem a little bit confusing and they do take a little bit of work, but once you get there, then it's quite exciting when you start getting the answers right. And often these questions are worth lots of marks, which is nice because if you know what you're doing, then it's like happy marks that you can just put in your pocket. All right. Let's see if anyone is able to do C for me and doesn't fall for my trap. Okay, so it's saying that the perimeter of the semicircle is 31 centimeters. Determine the area of the semicircle. Let's see how this goes. You know what? I'm actually going to help you a little bit before you get going because I'm worried that there's some difficult things. I know maths always has tons of topics. I know it's tough, but remember a lot of them are things that we just use now. Like we just use equations all the time, and that's it. That'll be a whole topic. Algebra will just be a whole topic that you just have in your exam. So don't panic too much. A lot of it is just stuff that we do all the time. Okay, if I was looking at the perimeter of the semicircle, this blue part that I've highlighted, who thinks they can help me write a formula to find just that blue part? So think about what it would be as part of our circumference. Who thinks they can help me? What would that blue area be? Not the angle. So that would 100% be 180 degrees. But if I'm wanting to write sort of with pi and with radius, how would I work out what that blue arc is? How would I work out what it is? Think about your circumference. Beautiful. Well, close. Your circumference is 2 pi r. And what have I colored in? Is it a full circle? Is it half a circle? What do you think that blue arc is going to be as a formula? If my full circumference is 2 pi r. Good. Okay. So 2 pi r divided by 2. That's going to give me that blue arc. Okay. And using r's, who can tell me what that yellow line I've just drawn is going to be? Using r's. How many radii? does it take to go from one side of the circle to the other? No? So think about it like this. If this is the center of my circle, okay, then this over here would be 1 radius because it's going from the center of my circle to my circumference. Well done. The answer is definitely 2. And this is also going from the center of my circle to my circumference. So that's also my radius. And so there are 2 radii going across there. Okay. So what I have is, and these 2's can cancel with each other because they are on top and bottom. What I have is a nice little equation. And I know that the perimeter of this is 31 centimeters. Okay. I want you to take your brains. This is going to be really good revision practice for your exams, for any of you writing soon. I want you to look at these 2 terms over here. And I want you to think, oh, no, you weren't wrong. I want you to think, how can I get R out of both of those terms? What thing have we learned in our lessons together where I can take something out of 2 different terms? What could I do? Because I want R to be alone. Who has a suggestion? You've got to take your brains all the way back to the beginning of the year.
Divide this to 1 by pi.
Okay, so if I divide by pi, it's a good suggestion, but I'm going to have pi on both sides. So I'm seeing lots of answers saying divide. If I divide by r, I'm going to land up with an r on the other side of my equation, though, which is going to be difficult for me to deal with. Factorize! Look at you. Well done. 2 answers. Nice job, Gerald, as well. Okay, we want to take out the highest common factor. We are going to factorize, which we have not done in a very, very long time. Now, I don't want you to panic and be like, this question is too hard. I do not know what to do. You're not going to be given a question that is this hard in your exam or in your test. It was just a way for us to talk about a bunch of different things to help you get ready for your exam. Okay, so if our perimeter is 31 centimeters, who can tell me what this right-hand side is going to look like if I'm taking out R as a highest common factor? What's going to be left inside those brackets? You got to try and take your brains back to when we did factorization, which was a long time ago.
Pi plus 2.
Good. Inside that bracket, we're going to have pi plus 2. Good. Okay. Now I'm wanting R to be alone. So I want to say 31 divided by pi plus 2. And that's going to tell me what, oh, goodness, that's a 2. That's going to tell me what R is. And we can put that into our calculator exactly like that. 31 divided by pi plus 2. And that gives us the answer of 6,03 for R. But they don't want R, they want the area of the semicircle. They want the inside. They want all of this. So now we have to say our area is going to be pi times 6,03 squared. But I don't have a full circle. I have half a circle. So I'm going to divide that by 2 because we only have half a circle. And we get to chuck that straight into our calculator like that. So pi times 6,03 squared all over 2, which gives us the beautiful answer of 57,12 centimeters squared. It's a big question. How do we feel about this? Is it bringing back memories or is this absolutely terrifying? Tell me where your head's at. Oh, no, don't be sad. Okay. So we got 6,03 by putting all of this, the 31 over pi plus 2, that fraction. We put that whole fraction into our calculator. And we get 6,003. See, I'd never rather keep quiet. That's never the answer. You know, I don't mind if you feel negative 7,020 about a question. Okay. All right. Let's move down. Okay, I'm actually going to leave that one for the moment just because of our time. Yes. Why are you mamming me? You still get 11,86. Maybe I've put it into my calculator wrong. 31 over pi plus 2 is 6,03. Are you saying plus or are you saying times? Over here, are you saying plus? You multiplied. There we go. Okay, the riddle is not hard. I promise. I found a nice one because I knew that these questions were going to be hard. So I made sure that I made you a nice, easy riddle. So be ready, though. It's coming. Okay, get your papers and minds ready. Let's see who can get the answer first. Tom was asked to paint the number of plates on 100 apartments, which means he will have to paint numbers 1 through to 100. Can you figure out the number of times he will have to paint the number 8? What is my answer? No, no, no. Nope. Nope, nope. 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 200. See ya. What? One, Jude? One number 8. I feel like you guys are just throwing numbers at me now. Chelsea! Yes. Our champion comes back again. Thank you. Thank you, Chelsea. Okay. Well done. Congratulations. The answer is definitely 19. Some of these answers that came out there. 800. My word. Okay. If we are trying to write the number 8 on different houses, let's just think about this for a second. For those of you who said 1 and 800, when I'm looking at my numbers, I would have house 8. I would have house 18, 28, 38, 48, 58, 68, 78, 88, and house 98 that I'd have to paint 8s. Then I have house 80, house 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87. I'm not going to count 88 again because I've already counted it, and 89. So that gives you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yep, 19. Well done, Chelsea. Big claps from the side. One more. I'll give you 2 on Wednesday. Okay. Do you prefer the picture ones or do you prefer the word ones?
Picture ones.
Picture ones. Okay. How about on Wednesday we do 1 picture and 1 word? Oh, we're all choosing pictures of both. Okay, thank you, Sarah. Okay, I'm going to give you a question that I feel like you're all going to like. We're going to skip over these horrible ones for the moment. I might come back to them. And I'm going to give you these 2 questions. Nice, easy questions. They're not hard. They're not mean. All I want you to do is find me the area of these 2 circles. That's it. No trick. Okay, so I'm going to use a circle as a situation here. That's my radius. The circumference is the perimeter of a circle. So that whole dark blue outside, that is the circumference. And in a circle, it's the same as saying the perimeter. And the circumference is equal to 2 pi r. And area is the space inside a shape. And in a circle, that space inside a shape is pi r squared. Just to answer the question that came in through the chat just now. Okay, I'm seeing some good answers. I'm just going to do the first one so long while those who are still working on the second can work on the second. My radius here is 7.5. So my area is going to be pi times 7.5 squared. And that gives me 176,71. I'm seeing centimeters, but it's area, centimeters squared. Don't forget your units. Just going to give you one more minute to finish off B for those who haven't had a chance to finish it just yet. Okay. And B, my diameter is equal to 32 millimeters, which means my radius is going to be 32 divided by 2, which gives me 16 millimeters. Okay, so my area is going to be pi times 16 squared. We're going to check that into our calculators. Pi times 16 squared, which gives us 256 pi, which is 804,25 millimeters squared. And look at those rounding offs, guys. You've come so far. Well done. Good. Good, good, good. This means I can give you a harder question. Yes. Yes. Because at the moment we should be feeling 10 out of 10. These two questions were nice. You were able to do them. So now let me be mean. Okay, it's not so mean. I'm not going to be horrible. I would like the area of this semicircle, as in half a circle. Sure. Let me see if I can try and squeeze both of them in. Okay, so I would like the area of that semicircle. I feel like I'm still being nice here. You're welcome. I see the question in the chat. I'm just not going to give you your answer just yet while people work through it. It could be yes, it could be no. Give you a little bit more time to work through this. Circumference is 2 pi r. But why are you using the circumference formula here? For the letter C. for the letter C as in the circumference C? What am I not understanding in your question?
No, ma'am. Ma'am, for the semicircle, ma'am.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
Yeah, so I was saying C for for the
Yes.
number.
Okay. So the area of a semicircle, so normal area of a circle is pi times radius squared. So if it's a semicircle, then we would be saying pi times radius squared divided by 2 because it's half of a circle. So full circle, pi times radius squared. Semicircle, pi times radius squared over 2. Quarter of a circle, pi times radius squared over 4.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sure. Okay, let's go through this. So first thing is we have to try and understand what information we've been given. We've been given a diameter, which is 6,4 centimeters, which means our radius is going to be 3,2 centimeters. Okay, and then we get to just put it into our formula. So area is equal to pi times 3,2 squared divided by 2. So pi times 3,2 squared divided by 2, and that gives us a total of 16,08 centimeters squared. Okay, so for those of you who didn't get it right, try and see where you went wrong. Did you use the diameter? Did you not divide by the right number? Try and see where yours went sideways. And if you don't know, you're welcome to chat and we can try and speak our way through. Okay, cool. Let's try another one. Okay, a nice word one. But remember, I don't want you to panic. I want you to think about information. We know the formula for the area of a circle is pi times radius squared. Okay, I want you to think about what information is given to you. And if we have that, because we always know pi, we can always find radius. And if we can find radius, we can find diameter. Oh, sure, Jude, sorry. Didn't mean to rush you at all. Here we go. Cool. Okay. So for this one, I want you to find the diameter of the circle. Remember, we're not scared of word sums. We just have to make our way through them slowly, put in the information we know, find what we can, see how that helps us. I see some answers coming in. I'm just going to give you a couple more minutes for those still working. Okay. So let's put this into our formula. Our area is 54, pi is pi, and we're looking for our radius. So we're going to do what we've been doing. 54 divided by pi is equal to our radius squared, which means our radius is 54 divided by pi. Now, we've done a question similar to this a couple of times today, so hopefully this feels a little bit easier now. And so for our radius, we get an answer of 4,19. Oh, what am I writing? 4,1459. No. Okay. And we are wanting the diameter of that circle. So we have to times that by 2 because the diameter of a circle is our radius times 2. And so our diameter is going to be 4,1459 times 2, which gives us 8,29 centimeters. Okay, let's see what some of our answers were like. Those of you who got slightly different decimals, I think it's because you just rounded off, which was fine. Oh, that's okay though. As long as your process was right, then that's great. Canva, where did you go wrong? Do you see where you went wrong?
It was my decimals, ma'am.
Okay, that's okay. Decimals, it's just if you round off your decimals will be different, and that's okay. All right, let's try another word sum. I think this will be our last one for the evening. So do your best. Let's try and all get it right. You've done a lot of work today. Your brains must be tired, but just try and do it step by step. So we have the area of a circle, find R, and when we know R, we can find the circumference. I will write the formulas that will be helpful here. Oh, hello. There we go. Area is equal to pi times radius squared. Circumference is equal to 2 pi R. Those should help you. Oh, yeah, I can imagine. That's a lot of maths for one day. You should feel very proud of yourself. Think about how good it is for your brain, though. Oh, come back. I'm seeing some nice answers there. Okay. Let's try work through this question and then I'm going to leave you for the night. So our area is 200 and that is equal to pi times radius squared, which means radius squared is 200 divided by pi, which means radius is the square root of 200 divided by pi. Okay, and so we know therefore that our radius is the square root of 200 divided by pi, which is 7,98. I'm going to round it off to 7,98. So our circumference is going to be 2 times pi times 7,98. So 2 times pi times 7,98, and I get a total of 50,139. So 50,14 millimeters. And we're done. Well done, guys. You did really, really well. I'm going to leave you there and I'm going to pass you on to Sia. Sia. I'm not passing you on to Sia. I'm passing you on to Tula. Because both of us lose electricity at 6. So if we disappear, that's where we've gone.
Yeah.
So nice job, guys. Well done. Tula, they're all yours.
Hello, grade 9s. Good to be back with you guys. I'm just going to quickly, like Miss G said, we have load shedding in like 3 minutes. So I'm just going to fly through the slides. But thankfully, I don't have a lot to get through because we have our leaderboard on Wednesday. So I'll leave that for then. I just want to, this should be up in a few seconds. Cool. So we have our last lesson on Wednesday. So this Wednesday, we have our last lesson on measurement. And then, so on Wednesday, I'll have do we have exam prep coming up next? Or we have a, yeah.
Yeah,
So
we've got 4
have,
lessons on exam prep.
Yeah, so we have exam prep, but on Wednesday, I'll come with a schedule to show you guys the lesson plan and how we'll be doing the exam prep, if we'll be dividing it by topic and everything. So I'll show you everything on Wednesday. So make sure that you come on Wednesday and you stay until the end of the lesson. And then, so for this particular, I remember we were doing area of circles today, for those of you who maybe joined late or were lost. So you can just go to the Watobe app and go to area and perimeter, and then go to circles, go to area of a circle and find the area of shaded part, and just make sure that you watch the videos there, you do the lessons. If there's there's quizzes, you do the quizzes, and then you can always go back to the Watobe website as well to rewatch this lesson if you joined late or you did not understand certain things, or sometimes maybe the teacher moved too fast, like through a question, and you did not see it or manage to finish it. So make sure that you give yourself a chance to understand things by just repetition. It's frustrating at first, but it's the last push, you guys. You are almost at the end of your grade 9. You're going to the big grade 10. So it's just one last big push, and you definitely will not regret it at the end. Hard work does pay off. That's it from my side. If Miss G does not have anything else to add, I think we can say goodbye to you guys for the evening. See you all on Wednesday.
On Wednesday, guys, can you try and think of, I want us our study time to be sort of based on what you struggle with. So on Wednesday, can you just try and think of one section that you really, really struggle with, and then I'll see which ones come up the most. We can do a little poll. So on Wednesday, be prepared to give me one section that you're struggling with that you'd like revision on before exams. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Right. We'll let you guys go because load shedding is about to start for us. Bye, everyone. Bye, Nolwazi. Bye, Apiwe. Bye, Lutogozo.
Yeah, Apiwe wants to see your new baby.
I think I missed that. Oh, yes. That's Apiwe asking with I'll show you guys the baby another time when she's awake. I'll show you another time. If you guys do well during these lessons, on the last lesson that we have for the exam prep, I'll show you the baby. That's it.
You got blackmail coming your way, guys.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.